Gloria Rubadiri. Now, as I said, Grundfos has been with us for a very long time. For some of you who don't know, since 1966. All right? That's 50 years. That's quite a long time. Now, for those of us, yes, I think that deserves a round of applause. So this more or less is a reintroduction to Grundfos for those of us who know the product, have used it, have interacted with it. And for those of us who have some commitment issues in the room, we can speak to the Grundfos team here to give us at least some pointers of how to stay in for the long haul. Now let's begin. Let's start with our speeches. We'll have the Deputy GM for Grundfos Kenya, Mr. David Githendu, to take us through and start the program. Mr. Githendu, round of applause for him, please. My apologies for that. We cannot start without the national anthem, so please rise to your feet. And we'll have our media team play. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. Yes, we weren't going to make you stand for the whole 3 stanzas of the national anthem, but karibu sana. David, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Representative from the Nairobi City Council, Bwana Odongo, the Ambassador of Denmark, Your Excellency, Ms. Mette Knudsen, Grundfos Regional MD for Europe, Middle East and Africa, Mr. Kim Jensen, Grundfos Area MD for Sub-Saharan Africa, Mr. Lee Carlin, our esteemed partners and customers, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome you today to this, the new home of Grundfos Kenya. Grundfos pumps have served in the Kenyan market now for over 50 years. And for many years since 1966, Grundfos partnered and collaborated with Davis & Shirtliff in distributorship of our products. Grundfos products have throughout this period proved themselves to be reliable, robust, energy efficient, and value for money. It is because of these qualities that Grundfos has developed and become a household name in pumping applications in Kenya. In 2008, ladies and gentlemen, Grundfos LifeLink was established as a company in Kenya to develop technology in products focusing on sustainable water supply to the bottom of the pyramid market space. At about the same time, Grundfos South Africa started operations in Kenya as a base from which to focus on the East and Central African market and bring service closer to the customers. In 2013, Grundfos Kenya was established as a company in charge of East and Central African market with a focus on ensuring product availability, supporting technical specification, after-sales service, and customer training. Our main areas of applications are in building services, water utility and industry. In these market segments, we continue to provide market with quality products, and the Grundfos name is synonymous with innovation. We place great value and premium on being able to provide market with innovative technological products, and we take pride in market leadership when it comes to launching new technologies. As many of you will know, Grundfos was the first pump company to manufacture SP borehole pumps in stainless steel. Since then, the Grundfos submersible borehole pump has become the flagship of our product range in our markets, and thousands of water supply projects in our region are supported by these products. Grundfos was also the first company to drive submersible pumps using solar energy in the early 80s, and indeed some of the solar installations that were equipped then in northern Kenya are still operational. Today, the world has followed suit, with emphasis being placed on renewable energy solutions, and Grundfos continues to lead from the front. Water is a key sector, and we are aware that the government of Kenya is committed to providing its citizens with clean and affordable water. And in this endeavor, Grundfos is well placed to provide the products required, technical expertise, and service to deliver on these objectives. Water is life. As an organization, we are privileged to be part of the noble efforts to supply this vital resource in our country, in which today many are in such great need of. As the staff of Grundfos Kenya, we are really proud of the facilities that Grundfos has here today in our country. These facilities that you have seen will support our efforts in providing you, our customers, with the products, technical backup and support, as well as service. It is also a testament to the faith that Grundfos management has in our country and its potential. From this facility, we are well placed to support the entire Eastern Central African region with our products. We have a great showroom to display and demonstrate our products, a service unit to support the products, and a training center where we will support you, our customers, with the technical expertise on the products and applications. In conclusion, let me thank all of you who have come out here today to be with us. And over the years, we have worked very closely together, and indeed, I thank you. We believe that this facility will go a long way to make your experience better when using our products for your applications and to add value to your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. And of course, the facilities here really is a show of Grundfos's commitment to the Kenyan market, that we've been here for 50 years, but we're definitely here to stay. I'd like to call on the area MD for Sub-Saharan Africa, Mr. Lee Carlin, to also take us through his speech. Round of applause for him as he comes up.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, our long-term partners, and also our new partners that have joined us over the more recent years, and also, importantly, our colleagues that stand us in good stead here in Grundfos, Kenya, and our East African organization. I would like to take a step now to say a heartfelt thanks to all the staff members, and particularly David, who has, over the past 18 months, but particularly over the last 2-3 months, taken a fantastic effort to get the facility up and running. So I would like to just a small round of applause for David and the team. David is absolutely right in the fact that Kenya, we've been here for many, many years, and we've developed our products and services over many years through our long established partnerships. But it's now at a critical phase where we need to grow and expand our operations in East Africa. That is also linked into our wider objective of growing our sub-Saharan African operations, not only in West Africa, Southern Africa, and also in East Africa. The opportunity that we have here is fantastic. We now have a facility that David and the team have created to be able to take Grundfos product to the next level, and also to the next generation. And I think that is an incredibly important thing, that as a responsible company, it is our right to be able to show what Grundfos can do for future generations going forwards. Nairobi will be one of the megacities in the sub-Saharan African area by the year 2030, one of 8 megacities. So again, it is strategically important that we have a good solid base here to grow and expand our operations throughout not only Kenya, but also the East African operations. Ultimately, what we want to be able to do is show and develop our products to a wider audience. We can do that through our partnership bases as yourselves, but we can also do that here strategically now to be able to show and grow the products and what they can do for the marketplace. We have a number of products that will be able to develop our opportunities around renewables, but also the way in which we can energy efficiently produce and distribute water around the countries in East Africa. Finally, I would just like to say thank you once again to our partners who have made this possible. Without your efforts over the past years, we would not be in a position now to be able to take what is essentially the next step on our journey of growing our East African operations. Thank you very much to yourselves, and also thank you very much to our colleagues here in East Africa who do a fantastic job for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee, of course, telling us why Grundfos is here now. Of course, we know Africa is rising, and they're saying we want a piece of that, and we can totally understand that. We also have the regional MD for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Mr. Kim Jensen, and he'll come and address us as well. Round of applause for him.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. It's with great pleasure that we inaugurate this new facility here in Kenya. As the largest pump manufacturer, the largest pump company in the world, we find it very important to continuously develop our footprint around the globe. And for obvious reasons, Africa is very important to our company. The challenges linked to population growth, energy supply, water supply, wastewater treatment are obvious opportunities for a company like Grundfos. But besides the opportunities here, you may be wondering what keeps a pump company awake at night. So what is it we are concerned about when we go to bed? And I can tell you very simply, it's energy efficiency. Approximately 10% of the world's electricity consumption is consumed by electrical motors. And on most of those motors is a turning thing that we call a pump. So you can imagine now, if we are the biggest pump manufacturer and pumps consume a large portion of the world's energy, then that's a pretty serious situation for us. This is actually where we can do something. This is where we can make a difference. So a large part of our R&D money goes into creating energy efficient pump solutions. So also in Africa, I think one of our ambitions is to, Africa and Kenya obviously, one of our ambitions is to contribute to you being able to pump more water for less kilowatt, or to pump the same amount of water with less energy. I think this is a key challenge for a pump company like Grundfos. And I think you all know our solar-driven pumps. I don't think anybody can deliver the same amount of water at the same amount of energy. So this is what keeps a pump manufacturer awake in the evening. With this facility, of course, we can better tell our story, we can better promote our products, and hopefully we can make a difference also in Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jensen. I'd like now to call upon our chief guest, and I must say this, ever since she replaced her predecessor, Ambassador Anderson, I have tried to master her name. And I hope I do it justice today. We have Ambassador Mette Knudsen, and she, of course, is going to tell us what the Danish embassy has been doing here in Kenya to help also with water and irrigation. Ambassador, please, welcome.
It was a very good attempt. And then you will forgive me if I pronounce something wrongly. Now, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, representatives from the national and county governments, from Grundfos, from the Water Sector Trust Fund, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a pleasure to see so many faces here today, and I think we have all looked forward to this chance of celebrating the opening of the Grundfos office here in Kenya. Denmark and Kenya have enjoyed strong bilateral relations since the independence of Kenya. Through 50 years of development cooperation, Kenyans know Denmark as a long-term development partner. The Danish engagement, along with other development partners, has contributed to Kenya's significant results and progress. The partnership between Denmark and Kenya has always been mutually beneficial. And with Kenya becoming a middle-income country, a strengthened cooperation in the area of trade and investments, along with development cooperation, will form the backbone of Kenya's continuous role as an important partner country for Denmark. But adding to this and in reinforcing this cooperation, the projects that Danish companies are currently initiating here are very impressive and also of critical importance to Kenya. Danish companies can bring solutions to many of the challenges and tasks that Kenya is currently facing as part of the move from being a developing country into one of the world's growth markets. Danish companies can bring technology, capital, and employment to Kenya. Let me turn to the issue of water. Less than 40% of Kenyans have access to sufficient and safe drinking water, close to their homes and at an affordable price. I think we can all agree that access to safe drinking water is the single most important basis for sustainable development of disadvantaged rural communities. With the water scarcity in Kenya creating huge challenges for the country on many levels, the access to clean water has to be increased substantially in order to meet the increasing demand, caused also by an increasing population. Denmark has since 2011 supported the Water Services Trust Fund to provide water in the arid and semi-arid areas. And continued support to the Water Services Trust Fund in our new country program that runs from 2016 to 2020 will enable the Trust Fund to reach out to underserved ASAL counties with provision of water and sanitation services to communities and with associated investments in management of water catchment areas. And we, of course, hope that the support from Denmark will positively impact accessibility of domestic and productive water by ASAL communities, including the poorest and underserved segments. Strategic water planning and provision will also facilitate efficient service delivery and green growth opportunities, specifically within the pastoral communities in the ASALs. But today we are here to celebrate with Grundfos as they officially launch their office in Kenya. Grundfos is a household name in the water sector in Kenya through the supply of high quality and energy efficient pumps for over 50 years. Globally, as we've already heard, Grundfos is the largest pump manufacturer with over 70 years experience and a huge footprint across Africa. Grundfos' focus markets are in water supply, building services, as well as industrial applications. And Grundfos has been in the forefront of technology in the water sector, having been the first pump manufacturer to venture into solar applications. And today, Grundfos is a leader in the renewable energy space, which has wide applications in sub-Saharan Africa. Grundfos LifeLink, a subsidiary of Grundfos, has combined existing technologies with an innovative business model to provide turnkey water solutions for communities without access to water and electricity in the rural areas. Solar-powered water pumps are linked up to mobile phone-based payments, which provide an alternative to traditional pumps suffering from frequent breakdowns and lack of maintenance. This technology was successfully relaunched in 2015 with the development of the new, and now I'm in problems with pronunciation, ACTAP unit, that is now in the market after successful pilot projects with the Nairobi City Water and Sewage Company. In September 2015, world leaders agreed on a new set of development goals, the so-called Sustainable Development Goals. These new goals will set the world on a course for 15 years to achieving sustainable development for all. And they have set ambitious targets in the field of water. The Sustainable Development Goal number 6 expands on the Millennium Development Goals focus on drinking water and basic sanitation to now cover the entire water cycle, including the management of water, wastewater, and ecosystem resources. Water is thus at the very core of sustainable development. And with Grundfos establishing an even stronger presence in Kenya, the company can and will contribute to also the achievement for Kenya of this important goal. With these few remarks, I wish to thank the county government of Nairobi, the national government, Grundfos, and all their partners in Kenya for continued cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I'd like now to call on the county representative. He's actually representing Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero, and he is the county executive member in charge of water. And tell us a bit more about what Grundfos's presence means, not just for the county, but for Kenya at large. Mr. Odongo, please.
High Excellency, the Danish Ambassador, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First, it is a pleasure to be here and to represent His Excellency the Governor, who could not be here due to some other engagement. To me, I'm very, very happy to share with Grundfos the opening of these new premises because it symbolizes one thing. One is commitment to the region. The second one is also acknowledging the good work that we've been doing to make this particular location a good location and attractive location for investment and business. So our efforts have not been in vain. I also appreciate the Royal Dutch Embassy for this invitation, and my gratitude, Ambassador. I also want to thank the Grundfos for choosing Nairobi as a location, especially for the operations in the entire East Africa. That means that the dominance of Nairobi as a location for investment and development in this region is being acknowledged by the company, and we need to do much more to make sure that in terms of what we are doing, to make sure that doing business situation improves in Nairobi, is enhanced so that more and more investment come to Nairobi. I also want to appreciate the fact that their operations is focusing on water supply, building services, and industrial application. And these are areas where, in terms of the situation in sub-Saharan Africa, we are looking for a lot of technological solutions to be able to transform that area. And I do appreciate the work that Grundfos is doing in this particular area. I'm also happy to note that one of the areas that Grundfos is also involved in is the area of providing technology to reduce non-revenue water. And where in the case of Nairobi, we are talking about 38%, which is pretty high. And we need a lot of technology to solve this problem because at this point, we are in a water deficit area. We have a deficit of 170,000 cubic meters per day. And for us to be able to supply the city, if you are losing some of the water because you are not able to account for them, it means that continuously you would not be able to serve the city well. And so they appreciate the contribution they are making towards reducing the non-revenue water. If we can reduce non-revenue water from the current 38% to just below 20%, that would be a very big boost to our city. I'm also happy to note that the company is also very enthusiastic to contribute in boosting use of renewable energy sources, and that is again an area where we are thinking in terms of green buildings where people can use renewable energy sources, and such contributions are really contributing to sustainability of development of the city, and we appreciate again for doing that. Lastly, I would like to say that in the building industry, one of the things that you find is troubling most development is the area of the entire, both draining and plumbing works in the entire. I think for people who are working in this, you find that is an area where there's a challenge all the time. And I believe that with more and more technology being developed in this area, we are able to perfect that, because in terms of maintenance of most of the buildings, this appears like one of the challenges in most building operations. And with technologies coming from Grundfos and others contributing in this area, I think that we'll be able to sort of solve some of these challenges. Lastly, I would like to convey the governor's gratitude for this invitation, and also throwing a challenge to Grundfos that we need you to participate more and more in technologies that would actually make the provision of water reticulation systems be much cheaper but much more efficient, because the challenges are there. The government is committed to supplying clean and safe water to citizens, but the technology that is going to be used in making sure that this is done has to come from the private sector. And we do believe that with Grundfos and others coming on board, this will be made easier and also cost-effective, so that government is able to make sure that safe and clean water reaches every Kenyan. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, County Executive Member from Nairobi County, Mr. Tom Odongo. Now, to, I guess, the highlight of this whole event. I know all of you probably have been through the workroom and have not actually gone inside to see the showroom and have a close encounter with some of the Grundfos products. So I'd like to call on our chief guests up here on the stage to join me on the red carpet. Now we can actually use the red carpet. It's been rolled up this whole time. And start the ribbon cutting ceremony to officially open the headquarters for Grundfos. I'd ask also for the invited guests here to please stay put just for a few minutes. You can actually witness the ribbon cutting on the screens that are before you. Thank you. Kindly make your way up as we officially open the headquarters for Grundfos. Okay, and here we go.
So let's make sure we turn it a little bit here.
Okay, let's go. Thank you very much. Now someone should speak.
All right, there we go. As they cut the ribbon, round of applause for the official opening of Grundfos. Wonderful. Congratulations to Grundfos Group. Officially opened here on Quincy Road. Grundfos has indeed landed on Kenyan soil. Thank you once more to our chief guest, Ambassador Mr. Kim Jensen, David Vendu, Mr. Carlin. Thank you so much. Please make your way in. We're going to have a photo op with our chief guest.